so, oh, turn a little closer. Alright, so, oh, that's some more spots here. Let's secure those. Okay. Oh. So now the background has dried, so now I'm going to start with the trees. Actually, let's start with this part first with the sand. In order to start this part, I took, don't fall. Okay. I took one of my smaller brushes, and what I did is let's see if I can find the right one. Okay. So I took a smaller brush, and I went ahead and did my outline. So I'm going to come down with a small brush and just draw. Let's draw this in. And then there's your sand. So once you draw the line, you can go ahead and just like color it in. And you can bring it around the edge if you would like. And you may have like a lot of little spots, like a lot of, it's hard to cover. And you can just dip it in some water, and that'll kind of smooth out the edge for you. So go ahead and color that in. Now that we have that intact, we have a few seconds to dry. And while that's drying, we can go ahead and start placing the trunks for our trees. And what I usually do is take a pencil. I take out a pencil. Now just lightly place where I want the trees to be. So you have one here, which is about 1 finger length away from the corner. So I'll take my tree and let's draw a simple line for your tree. And it's gonna be a very light line. So let's take that. And we stop at right about where the orange starts to blend into the magenta. We'll stop with that one. With that. So let's draw a simple line. Oh, and also if you get like paint on the canvas, like I just made a mistake, a good rule of thumb, you can just take some paper towel and just slowly dab it up. And it works perfectly just like an eraser. That's a good thing about acrylic. It comes off pretty quickly. So I got my line. And maybe you can make a few more impressions. And you always want to use pencil. You don't want to use like a Sharpie or anything because it'll bleed through. So you always want to use a pencil instead. And so now I'm going to draw my second. Let's start with this one. And if you want, you can go a little higher. If you feel like you want to fill out the space more. Like I said, everybody's blending is not going to be exactly the same. So your trees may be a little higher or lower if you need. So I might do mine a little bit higher. Now, this part, I'm going to go ahead and start the trunks for our trees. And so you'll have just enough water on your brush, not too much, just enough to have it damp. And just put a little bit of water on there. And I'm going to start with a tree here on this side. And you just simply follow the line you trace with a pencil. And just trace up. come back down. Now you may have too much water in the brush, and I forgot to mention you will need paper towels to get rid of the excess water. Things can get a little messy. So, and just how like I trace this line for the tree, the same technique I use for here, how you fill it in as you go. So the tree trunks, I kind of fill them in. And again, to get that same smooth edge, just have it enough water to fill in those little gaps. I'm gonna go ahead and smooth my trees out, and then we'll go on to putting the actual branches on the trees next. Alright, so we are back. So now, as I know some of you may be finishing up on your trunks, I'm going to go ahead and start with the branches. And as you can see, they're kind of like a star shape, and that's the key to like getting the actual item, getting the actual item in, is to break it down by a basic shape. And so the fact you have, like, when I see the branches, I see actual stars. So I'm going to start with this one. And so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 6 legs on the star. So what we'll do is we'll just draw, and you can use the smaller brush, but I prefer to use like the next to the smallest brush. And you're going to take the brush and just from where the stem is, where the branches is, the top of the tree is, we're going to just take a line and just draw. It's a simple line. And we'll do that for each branch. So we got one. Alright. So now you have your branches. And this is kind of the tricky part. This will take a lot of water and but not as much black paint. And what I did is I started, start here. What I did is I took my brush and like laid it on the side and just pulled down like that. So you're like push the brush in and just pull down. And just repeat that for each of the branches. My branch is done, looking pretty good. And I'm pretty sure things are looking awesome as well. Because again, we're here to have fun, and also, I realize that you're learning, and the best way to learn is to have fun. So now, the water spots. I can show you how to quickly patch those up. And you can bring your branches back out with the black.